Thank you for joining with me this morning for this thought for the week. I must tell you that history was never my strong point at school. I could never see much sense in it. I mean, who cared if Henry VIII changed his wife the way we might change a motor car? You know, the old model's getting a bit tatty, down at the heel, doesn't look as good as she used to look. Time for a change. I mean, who cares? Well, that's what I used to think. I've changed my opinion, however, because we can learn a lot from history. In school, I remember hearing about the 30 Years' War. Didn't pay much attention, but I know it involved the whole of Central Europe, and it ended with a treaty that was signed in 1648. But when it was signed, in fact, there was no representative from the Republic of San Marino there. So officially, until some years ago, the Republic of San Marino had been at war with Sweden. Finally, in 1996, these two countries signed a peace treaty. I suppose better late than never. I don't know about you, but sometimes I think peace is not to be found. We can communicate with everybody in the world. We have a lot in common, yet still we find some reason for killing one another. Is peace possible, or should we abandon the concept completely? Jesus came to talk about peace and to bring peace. I believe he came to destroy the barriers which we erect against one another. He sought to bring people together. He welcomed children. He ate with tax collectors and they weren't liked at all. And sinners. He allowed a woman with a dubious reputation to anoint his feet. He healed lepers. He even spoke to Gentiles, and that was taboo in his day. Prejudice is a terrible thing no matter where you find it. I gotta say, you find it in golf clubs, you find it in bowling clubs, you find it in churches, and social clubs. I remember some years ago, some friends from America took me down to a golf club to play with them. And I always remember that woman was not allowed in the clubhouse. She's a lovely, sweet lady, let me tell you. She's been house trained. She knows how to behave. She has a responsible and demanding job in a hospital in Lawrence, Kansas. She earns good money. She is respected in her hometown, but she can't get into that clubhouse. And what was her sin? She was a woman. Prejudice. Well, she got to play golf at the club, but then we discovered there were no ladies' tees. I suppose that's just to remind her that she was there in sufferance. When Martin Luther King was assassinated, a young teacher of modern studies wanted her pupils to feel the pain. And so she separated the students into two groups based on eye colour. Then she announced that Friday would be Brown Eye Day. All brown-eyed pupils would be treated better than the blue-eyed ones. They would be considered cleaner, smarter, more civilised. The results of this experiment were shocking. By midday, she could tell the difference between the brown-eyed and the blue-eyed students. And then on Monday, the rules were reversed. Afterwards, the children reported their feelings, and many said they felt sad, they felt angry, they felt dirty on those days that they were not the favoured ones. But I'll tell you one thing, they got the point. What a great way to teach a lesson about prejudice. How often do we create ridiculous barriers between ourselves and other people? Barriers sometimes as silly as the colour of other people's eyes. Jesus wanted to destroy the barriers that separated people, yet still we reject them and justify those barriers. I can't understand it. Neither can you, I'm sure.